So this is how you're going to manifest perfect gut health in 2025. Now, there's two main variables that we need to be aware of that literally nobody else is talking about. Everybody's talking about diet and walking this holistic tightrope until your life is just completely miserable because you can't go out and eat with your friends, and when you do, you eat something bad and then you're sick for days. I'm going to show you how to get rid of all of that. It's actually really easy if you understand these two variables. So the first one is M. I'll share this one with you second. This one's super important. And then it's times B. B stands for beliefs. And your belief system, if you're watching this video, you probably have this belief. And again, most of these beliefs are subconscious. Like, for example, if you're trying to become a millionaire and you think all rich people are evil, you are probably going to subconsciously sabotage yourself from making money. And you're going to feel guilty every time you receive money from people. So it's like you have these two clashing beliefs that were probably created by the media or created by your parents or your teachers or something like that. So the first biggest belief that's sabotaging people, and it's sabotaging people so much that you probably wouldn't even be watching this video right now if you had this belief stuck in your head, is you can't cure your gut. I have Crohn's. Some guy with a white jacket said it's incurable. I'm screwed. Now, a better belief to have is they haven't found a cure yet. This leaves the possibility that there's hope, that there's no cure. It's incurable. You're done for. Just give up. They haven't found a cure yet. Oh, there's hope. I can try different things now. I've seen other people get better. I can get better if I eat a boring, bland diet. That's another belief people have. Like, when people start using drugs and they don't work, and they're shocked by this, and it doesn't even make sense. Like, if you read any lab study on the effectiveness of these drugs, it's not even 50%. It's nowhere near. It's like they have a horrible success rate. So the next belief that people have is if I avoid gluten, if I avoid croissants, if I avoid French toast, if I avoid pancakes, if I avoid chocolate chip cookies, if I avoid everything tasty in life, a life not worth living, then I will somehow heal my gut. And this is a belief I see people get trapped in for decades. I remember I went to some dietary seminar, as a meetup conference thing, and there was this woman there, and she'd been following the diet for 10 years, and they put a piece of sourdough, organic bread, like handpicked by the dude running the conference, ancient grains, no glyphosate, and the woman could not eat it. It was the bread could not have been any healthier, and she could not eat it. And I went, wow, if she's been doing this for 10 years and she can't even have a piece of bread, what am I doing? And so the belief system you need, so there's diets, it's caused by infection. The belief system that you need to get better, you need a German New Medicine mindset. If you don't have a German New Medicine mindset, if you're not looking at this from a German New Medicine point of view, it's just going to get slowly and slowly worse and worse and worse. So German New Medicine was created by a German doctor named Dr. Hammer, and he could look at your brain CT scan and know exactly what health condition you had. And I actually had my brain scan looked at, and it added up like 100%. Everywhere they saw these impacts on my brain CT scan, it was like, yeah, I have those symptoms. So he concluded that traumatic events put certain organs into overdrive to help us overcome this conflict to our survival. All of our organs are a survival tool. Now that's highly oversimplified, but that's essentially, the premise of it. So you need to have this German New Medicine mindset, because the way we get better is by resolving our conflicts. And most of us have already done that. We're just tripping over the PTSD triggers of that traumatic event. That's like, we need to be investing our energy into changing that traumatic memory, finding that traumatic memory, finding the subconscious PTSD triggers that keep putting our gut in and out of overdrive. I've seen lots of people who are living a very stressful life. They come to me, they work with me, they do my 13-day protocol. Their life is still stressful, and they get their symptoms better. This doesn't mean you have to be a Buddhist monk and never experience a negative emotion again and live a completely stress-free life. That is literally impossible. It is processing the traumatic event that put your gut into overdrive, and it's in the subconscious. Most of you aren't consciously aware of what that event is. Now, what's M? So even if you have your beliefs right, you're doing German New Medicine perfectly and all that stuff, you did all that stuff. If you have your beliefs right and you're not doing M, this just won't go, this won't go forward. M stands for motivation. The best motivation is pain. Touching a hot stove, and it hurts, it burns. I'm going to be more motivated to not touch a hot stove again if I get a 3rd-degree burn from touching the stove. That's just how it is. Reward. Now, this gets messed up a lot because there's a lot of things we have today to block pain. We have painkillers. We have Netflix. We have video games. We have marijuana and stuff like that. They numb the pain. If you numb your pain, you're not going to have enough motivation to do the things you need to do to get better. A lot of the pain I find in these gut conditions is completely ignoring the idea that somebody might have to get surgery if they don't address this. And the surgeries that they do for gut conditions like IBS, Crohn's, colitis are they're Frankenstein. I can't believe they do these things. They cut through, one of the things that they do is they completely remove your colon. They just throw it out in the trash. They completely remove your colon. And then here they insert a bag, and then that bag throughout the day fills up with crap. It fills up with fart. You have to clean it 3 times a day. It costs thousands of dollars. And, they kind of sell it like it's going to fix your issues. But for most people, they still have weight loss issues. They still look like a skeleton. Now they got to deal with this bag. Now, to have that bag, I don't know how, it's like it just produces social, I don't know in what person it wouldn't produce social anxiety that you have this bag of poop hanging off of you for the rest of your life. There are times that this is required, but if you catch it early enough, this doesn't have to happen. There's another procedure that's called a J pouch, where they completely remove your colon, and then they have, your small intestine, and they literally like dice it up and then sew it back together so that you have like this makeshift tiny colon where, you know, a normal person will only have to go to the bathroom, I don't know, like once, one, two, maybe 3 times a day, where somebody with a J pouch, they consider it successful when you go 8 times a day. The way that they define success, the way that they define success for a lot of these procedures is literally the definition of insanity. Your brain is controlling your gut. Pain, like, oh, pain, I'm feeling pain, everything's bad. Pain is evolutionary, supposed to keep us alive. We need to use the pain to motivate us to deal with the root cause. Somebody could have their beliefs all screwed up and they just have like motivation times 1,000 and they will eventually figure it out. Motivation is so important, and we do so many things to drown out the pain. The pain of not eating gluten. I had a gluten-free chocolate chip cookie and I wanted to vomit. It was so gross. I just spit it out right in front of them. I was like, what the hell is this? This is disgusting. Who would eat this? It's so gross. Like, gluten-free products are so disgusting. I don't know how anybody eats them. And then like every time you go out to eat with your friends, like you don't want to be like, it would be one thing if the diets work, but I remember for the longest, I remember I had one friend confront me. He goes, Mike, you've been doing these crazy diets for 5 years, and you know, I could still beat you up in a fight, and I do absolutely nothing for my health. This dietary zealotry is not helping. You're actually skinnier than when you started before. It's not working. And it wasn't until I started addressing and finding and doing, like, dealing with the PTSD, and it's, a lot of it is bringing it to consciousness. Oh, I react violently every time I eat watermelon because one time as a kid I had a panic attack for swallowing a watermelon seed, and I thought the seed was going to grow inside of me and, you know, grow, you know, I thought a beanstalk was going to grow outside my belly button or come out through my throat, and I would die. Because my uncle thought it would be funny to make that joke. I've heard stories of, you know, when I was 3 years old, my stepdad almost beat me to death because I wouldn't eat mashed bananas. It's funny now, every time I eat bananas, I break out in a bad rash. And just bringing that to consciousness, a lot of the times fixes that reaction. So this is the type of approach we need to take. And you need to be motivated. Stop numbing the pain. So it's very easy to numb the pain nowadays. So this is what we need to do to get better. This is how you manifest perfect gut health, where you can live a normal life again in 2025. A lot more details. I have a lot more science in the mini. It's like a mini version of my 13-day protocol. It is in my bio link. What my 13-day protocol does is it takes you through a series of exercises to change this belief system in your head. I'm underwiring all the holistic bullshit crap and putting in the proper programs, the proper beliefs, so that you can have, you're literally like one thought away from getting better. You will have more thoughts in the right direction with the proper beliefs and proper motivation. And that's what I tried to build in you in my 13-day protocol.